ZOTAC. Guys, ZOTAC is typically known for their graphics cards, but at Computex 2017, they've continued to focus equally on their pre-built mini PCs and graphics cards. In this video, we're more interested in some of the cool innovations that they're bringing to the PC market with some small but powerful systems. But first, a message from our sponsors.
Our Computex trip is brought to you by PHANTEKS, Cooler Master, and MSI.
ZOTAC's Magnus series have been around for a little while now, but they're now showing some revised designs with some very interesting component layouts. Remember, the ZOTAC Magnus is a bare-bones system, so you're expected to populate it with memory and storage options, while ZOTAC has pre-installed the CPU, GPU, motherboard, and other items. Not only is the chassis more streamlined and better looking than before, but the internal layout will now accommodate support for a full-size graphics card and desktop-class processors for up to 65 watts of TDP. Now before, these bare-bones systems used notebook components to achieve pretty good performance, but the bump in capabilities will definitely be noticed in real-world scenarios. It's also a great move for buyers since they should now be easily able to upgrade their systems over time. There's also a pretty drastic change in components being offered in different Magnus configurations. There are the usual Kaby Lake i5 and i7 versions, but now ZOTAC will also be adding Ryzen processors into the mix. There's no word on exactly which AMD CPUs will be in the options bin, but that 65 watt TDP number leads us to believe the Ryzen 7 1700 and Ryzen 5 1600 or below could all be likely candidates. With that being said, both AMD and Intel-based systems will come with either a ZOTAC GTX 1070 Mini or GTX 1060 Mini graphics card pre-installed. At this time, there's no word on pricing or solid availability dates, but we're hoping to have one in hand soon for testing purposes, so I'm pretty excited about that. Now, this little guy is the Magnus 1050, and it's supposed to be a perfect affordable system for esport use. While ZOTAC has already introduced an option with a GTX 1060 in this range, the 1050 version is still supposed to provide excellent performance for 1080p displays, but cost much less. Supposedly, it will be priced under $800, but would like to see it come in well under that due to there being plenty of great entry-level gaming notebook options in the same price range. Now, switching gears a bit, we come to ZOTAC's solution for people who don't want to build their own PCs from the ground up or populate a bare-bones system with other components. This is their brand new Mech gaming PC, and boy, does it look so good to the eye, but it also enters a pretty crowded market. Remember, we already reviewed competing solutions like the MSI Trident 3 Arctic, Corsair One, and the Asus G20 Ci. Links to those are in the description below. Every one of them had some challenges, so what is ZOTAC doing to stand out? Well, for one, the Mech's design is certainly distinctive with a perimeter RGB lighting around its face and an extremely narrow footprint. ZOTAC will also be including an i7 7700 processor, which means a lack of CPU overclocking, but that's understandable since this is a pre-built system. There's also a GTX 1080 mini graphics card and a 450 watt STX sized power supply. Some of the other specifications are still to be determined since there will likely be different combinations of M.2 SSDs and secondary hard drives for storage. We'll likely see the Mech on store shelves before Christmas. So that wraps up our coverage of ZOTAC's new PCs, and while there are plenty more coverage of them, they all couldn't fit into this video. However, stay tuned to the channel for more Computex coverage. I'm Ibar with Canucks. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.